My name is Dr. Christopher Mimolen. I would be taking you on this class, and I'd like you guys to check the material. And we will be a little bit fast with this class, and I would also be giving you guys some assignments at the end of the class. I hope that you can all hear me very well as we commence with the class. So chapter 1 is Introduction to Organizational Behavior. So we would be looking at the definition of organization and behavior, how human behavior, because there is no organization except humans. Human factors are considered. An organization is a makeup of humans. So how do they interact and how does it transform to the organization index? So, but before that, I'm going to be playing a little video for you guys. And this video is a video that will give you guys insight of what the class is all about. It's from, yeah, just watch the video, which I'll be playing for you guys, and I'm going to be asking some questions from here.
Organizational behavior. In this video, we will talk about organizational structures and cultures. In part 1, we will define organizational behavior. In part 2, we will talk about organizational structures. In part 3, organizational cultures. And in part 4, the relationship between organization.
So you're going to see this video, which I'm going to be using as one of my external source material. It's actually developed not by me, but I can use it to actually expatiate what we want to be doing. So the video will be talking on 3 or 4 concepts. 1 is organizational behavior introduction. 2 is organizational structure. 3, organizational culture. Then 4, relationship between culture and structure.
Cultures and structures. So, let's define organizational behavior.
Workplace is different. Everyone has stories about good and bad coworkers, as well as workplace structure that either made those jobs amazing or unbearable. Studying how individuals and groups behave in various organizations will help develop your skills to take on leadership roles. How employees communicate, how an organization is structured, and how problems are addressed are just some of the factors of organizational behavior. A good manager who is familiar with these behaviors can influence individuals and groups to create effective organizations.
In this part, we will talk about organizational structures. Organizations are classed by size, sector, and ownership. They may be private or public companies, either profit or non-profit orientated, production or service orientated, a partnership, whether it's limited or not, or sole trader associations, formal or informal, legal or illegal.
So we're going to be looking at what is being said here. Organization is classed by size, sector, ownership. So if you ask a question like how is an organization classed? So you know it's classed either by size, sector. Size means either medium, large or small. Sector could be production, engineering services. Ownership is either it's a sole proprietor, partnership, and the rest. I think from your other courses, this would have been made familiar. So they may be private or public companies, either they could be profit or non-profit, production or service-based oriented, partnership or sole proprietor. I think we have been discussing this. Let's just
Organizational structure is a framework used by a company company to divide its processes and activities needed to complete business operations. Most companies use a well-defined structure that lists management positions and who's responsible for tasks and activities.
Organizational structure is a framework used. Why I'm repeating it, I'm going to be repeating this because of the fact that the video is a little bit fast, so I might want to just repeat it for you guys to be able to capture it very well. Organizational structure is a framework used by company to divide its processes and activities needed to complete business operation. Remember, framework, process, activities, business operation. These are keywords that whenever you want to define organizational structure, we must be the framework is one, activities another, business operation. So it's a framework used to divide process and activities for business completion. So most companies use a well-defined structure that lists management positions. So you see some structures will list the CEO will list the manager, functional managers, and the rest of them, and who is responsible for tasks and activities.
Let's look at the types of structures. Structures can be functional, geographic, product, or customer based.
Oh, I'll go a little back so that you guys can get that. I'm going to go look back.
Types of structures. Company structures can be functional, geographic, product, or customer based.
Hello? There's nothing wrong if a lecturer uses external material for his training, but you should know that this material is meant to help students have a broader perspective of the class. So that is the essence. So let's look at type of company structure, functional structure, geographic structure. Some other material might define theirs quite a little bit different from this. So the question students ask, which should we use? This is our first class on this. I'm still going to use the approved material for GPTs, but it's good we also look external material because it also all these apply in principles, but for academic purpose, we stick with what we have in your study guide. But it's also good that we learn because even in your exam, if I do ask you type of company and you list functional structure, geographical structure, and you also list what you have in your material, you have also scored yourself good grade. So I'm not going to score you negative because you have listed what is here or you are listing what is in material. Whatsoever you list that is in conformance with the global standard is accepted as correct. So let's go ahead.
Functional structure is based on activity or function. Structure is based on location of businesses or department.
Yes, for example, let's use GPT. For example, you can see we have different centers. So we can use geographical structure as Iboleni Center, Ajakuta Center, Jigawa Center, and the rest of them. Okay.
Product structure consists of self-contained divisions. A division is a collection of functions which produce a product. And the last structure is customer base, which is based on an individual, a business, or government consumers.
Well, let me go a little back so you guys can get this because your first assignment to me is going to be the classification and explaining it, so you need to understand it. So let me just go back.
Let's look at the types of structures.
Type of structure.
Company structures can be functional, geographic, product, or customer base.
My first assignment for you is to tell me the type of company structure. You can list what you have on your material. You can list this. I'm fine with it. Tell me, number one is type of company structures and draw the company structure chart. Draw for me the structural chart, which we can also see as organogram. So my first question is what are the types of company structures and draw the company structure as chart, which is also known as the organogram. So you, that is my first question. So you can tell me in your quiz or your assignment this for, but I need more. So you check your study guide to also list more. So my first question is, what are the types of company structure, and draw the structural organizational structure chart for me. So number one question.
Functional structure is based on activity or function. Geographic structure is based on location of businesses or department. Product structure consists of self-contained divisions. A division is a collection of functions which produce a product. And the last structure is customer base, which is based on an individual, a business, or government consumers. Companies may decide to use a matrix organizational structure, which combines one or more structure bases.
Hope you're taking notes. So we have another one called matrix organizational structure, which combines one or more structural bases, so structure bases. For example, it can combine product and customer together to allow a company to manufacture and market specific goods or services for different customers.
For example, combining product and customer structures allows a company to manufacture and market specific goods or services for different customer types. Organizational structures will typically fall under a centralized or decentralized form. Centralized relies on one individual to make decisions, while decentralized organizations will rely on several individuals.
So this is explaining more of the chain of command here. So you could have a central chain command or decentralized chain command. Organizational structure will typically fall under. This is not type of organizational structure, but this is based on the chain of command. So centralized relies on one head, pass information, and we have decentralized. This you have multiple command here.
For decisions. Organizations are set up in specific ways to accomplish different goals, and the structure of an organization can help or hinder its progress towards accomplishing these goals. There are three main types of organizational structure: functional, divisional, and matrix structure. Functional structure is set up so that each portion of the organization is grouped according to its purpose. In this type of organization, for example, there may be a marketing department, a sales department, and a production department.
Let me
The
go.
functional structure works very well
Let me go a little back to explain this to you guys, so you guys don't.
towards accomplishing these goals. There are three main types of organizational structure: functional, divisional, and matrix structure.
You can see that we have three types of organizational structure here, under which the first type of organizational structure we talk about fall under. So for example, if I ask you guys a question in your exam, and the question is to tell me what geographical structure, what type of organizational structure it is, or if I ask you guys to tell me function structure. Sorry, let me go into the back, please. Hold on.
And activity. Let's look at the types of structures.
Types of structures.
Structures can be functional, geographic, product, or customer based.
Okay. So let's go.
Organization. Functional structure is set up so that each portion of the organization is grouped according to its purpose. In this type of organization, for example, there may be a marketing department, a sales department, and a production department. The functional structure works very well for small businesses, in which each department can rely on the talent and knowledge of its workers and support itself. However, one of the drawbacks to a functional structure is that the coordination and communication between departments can be.
I'm still going to explain something to you guys, but before I do explain that, however, look at one of the drawback of functional structure is the coordination and communication between departments can be restricted. So if you get a question asking you what is the drawback of each of the structure, you should know that drawback for functional structure is that the coordination and communication between departments can be restricted by the organizational borders, boundaries or borders. So of having various departments working separately. So you see, this is one of the drawback or the negation of functional structure here. So we will be. I want to further help you classify the first type with the second one, so you don't get it mixed up.
Organizational boundaries. Departments working separately. Business structure typically is used in larger companies that operate in a wide geographic area or that have separate smaller organizations within the umbrella group to cover different types of products or market areas. For example, the now defunct Technosave Products Company was organized divisionally with a small engine division, a compressor division, a parts division, and a division for each geographic area to handle specific needs. The benefit of this structure is that needs can be met more rapidly and more specifically.
So you guys are going to give me 2 minutes. Let me just put my computer on charge so we can continue the lecture. So please, 2 minutes of your time, please. Thank you. So can you hear me?
regardless of their usual location in the hierarchy.
So the next assignment would be for you guys to tell me the different type of hierarchical organizational structure you know. You've seen it displayed here. Different type of hierarchical organizational structure, the merits and the demerits of each, the merits and the demerits. So we have hierarchical organizational structure, that is the organizational structure that defines an organization based on positions of personnel that are involved in the organization. You're going to tell me the different types of hierarchical organizational structure and also the merits and the demerits of each of them. So let me continue.
We will talk about organizational culture. Culture in the organizational context can be broadly defined as the sum of groups or nations' way of thinking, believing, feeling, and acting. Culture is the way of life of a group. More formally, culture is defined as a complex whole which includes knowledge, beliefs, arts, morals, customs, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by the members of society. Organizational culture includes an
So we are now talking about organizational culture, and I think we've been able to look at organizational structure. We are now looking at organizational culture. You know, we spoke about organizational behavior, organizational structure, and now we are looking at organizational culture.
organization's expectations, experience, philosophy, and values that hold it together, and is expressed in its self-image, inner workings, interaction with the outside world, and future expectations. It is based on shared attitudes, beliefs, customs, and written and unwritten rules that have developed over time and are considered valid. Organizational culture can also be called corporate culture. It's shown in the way the organization conducts its business.
So the other name we can also call organizational culture as what corporate culture. You know, and the way the organization conducts its business, treats its employee and its customer. Let's continue.
Treats its employees, customers, and wider community. It is shown in the extent to which freedom is allowed in decision making, developing new ideas, and personal expression. It is shown
So my third question to you now would be explain briefly the relationship between organizational behavior, organizational structure, and organizational culture. So explain briefly the relationship between organizational behavior, organizational structure, and organizational culture. These are three things that we have discussed today. I want you guys to, the last and third question will be explain briefly the relationship between organizational behavior, organizational structure, and organizational culture.
how its hierarchy and how committed employees are towards collective objectives. Let's take a look at the cultures and the Google.
So we want to look at the culture of a company. I believe we all know a company called Google. So we want to look at what, because for us to define this, we need to take example how this operates um, practically. So we want to look at Google organizational structure. Just watch the video.
Back, schedule a massage. Looking for inspiration. Attend a talk with a world leader on corporate governance. I like her. The most important thing in the creativity is honor and creativity. People may feel shuttle rides are unheard of in Silicon Valley, but why does Google go above and beyond? We're going to be spending a little bit of time here in the complex, just looking at the culture.
Sorry, this is a company called Google. So when you see them eating, it's not a restaurant, it's Google. So we want to see how they treat their staff, their customer, and the community at large.
organizational structure and culture. Organizational structure and
So this is more like the assignment I gave to you guys. If you can listen very well, you will be able to answer the assignment. Relationship between organizational structure and culture. Remember, my question was relationship between the three: organizational structure, organizational behavior, and organizational structure. But this will be giving us a little clue of the relationship between organizational structure and organizational culture.
organizational culture have a dependent relationship with one another. In the business world, management structure determines the behaviors, attitudes, dispositions, and ethics that create the work culture. If a company's organizational structure is strictly hierarchical, decision-making power centralized on the top, the company's culture will likely reflect a lack of freedom and autonomy at lower levels. If a company's management structure is decentralized, shared power and authority at all levels, the culture is likely to be more independent, personalized, and accountable. The way a company allocates power and authority determines how employees behave. These choices manifest in a company's organizational structure and organizational culture. Organizational structure is the way a company arranges its management and aligns authority.
I want to believe we get that. Organizational structure is the way the company arrange its management and line of authority. It determines role and responsibility and the flow of information within the company. What culture results from those decisions? I want us to read this carefully, so I had to pause it.
It determines roles, responsibilities, and the flow of information within the company. Work culture results from these decisions. To reach their goals effectively, organizations always need to have a formal structure. This is important to distribute tasks into different groups to ensure that no two people are working on the same project or task so that we can get the most output for our input. Because organizations cannot be run without people, this tends to create different informal structures or environments in the organization, which leads to different attitudes, perceptions, behaviors, and traits across.
You can see the reason why different organizations have different employees with different attitude, different perception, behavior, and the rest is because of their organizational what structure. So organizational structure impacts on the organizational behavior, which at the end relates or interprets the organizational culture. You can see how it all links together. Organizational structure affects organizational behavior, and it is the reflection. The organizational behavior is the reflection of the organizational culture. So that is why sometimes when you walk into some companies, you see some decorum, while some other might not be that organized as the other. This is likely due to the organizational structure. So I want you guys to understand how these three are tied together and how one bets the other. So it's important to understand how it flows.
Different types of attitudes. So when employees are supposed to work together on a task in the constraints of a formal structure to reach a certain objective, there are certain ways to speak and interact, which in effect forms an organizational culture where it may be created knowingly or unknowingly by the employees.
So that brings us to, I would have loved to take more comments and more questions, but quickly let me give just 1 minute. I know we don't have up to 1 minute. Just 1 minute for you guys. If you have any questions, you can just unmute your mic and be free to ask your question. If you have any questions regarding what we've done, please be free to unmute your mic and ask questions so that we can wrap up the class. Thank you.
Sir, we are not hearing you
If you have
clearly,
any
sir.
question,
We
please.
are not hearing you clearly.
So what's the first question of the assignment?
If you once you unmute your mic, the first thing that
Please, we are not hearing you, sir.
also you're supposed to put your name and then talk for yourself. Talk for yourself. Just say, I cannot hear you clearly.
We're not hearing you at all. Yes, we're not.
Sir, I cannot hear you.
But I want to believe that most of you have been able to take down the assignment. When you don't hear clearly, I believe it's a function also of your location and the internet service. So, but for those who can hear me faintly, if you have any question, please you can go ahead.
Sir, please, can you say the assignment?
I should repeat the assignment.
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
My first assignment that you let me type it out for you guys. Let me type it out.
Hello, sir. We haven't gotten the link where we are supposed to submit them.
Okay, in they write the assignment, make people see am.
The email address, please. Everybody, please. Email address.
I'm going to screenshot am. Instead of going to leave down, face this one. Then once the lecture is done, come there and complain. You know, say even those messages say go dey cause internet obstruction, but I no know. Kai.
Hello, sir. Question. Merit and demerit.
It's like listening to the elder to ask about the tradition in the hands of young men.
Stated, sir.
So this write it down. Um, question. You can screenshot your. So this question is something for the next class.
Okay, control it on my screen.
To the email address here, and so thank you all for watching. We believe that as we continue with this class,
The correct
the
one.
system will improve and it will become better. So thank you for watching. God bless you all.
Done, sir.